Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. But in this video I want to talk about dreams, and if you guys have any questions I will try to answer them in the best way that I can. I'm going to ask you guys, your higher self or whoever is meant to be here, that it will receive just what you need, not more, not less, but also the highest good for all of us together. Masete eshka tiki itikira ateke eshka ti isitike ashka. So if you have any questions about dream it is a symptom that represents that we are awakening in a very accelerated pace, and it's also a sign that our third eye is opening. So if you are dreaming a lot, it's actually a good thing, because every dream it is a message, it is guidance, it may be healing, it may represent connection. So if you would like to share with me your dreams or questions about dreams, messages that came through that it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna do my best to try to help you. If you have any other requests for healing or any other question, please dive in. And I'm going to share something that it's happening to me so you guys understand why I am doing this video. My third eye is normally very active, and the ones that know me know that I dream with everyone and everyone dreams with me. My friends, my family, and people that sometimes I don't even know. I do have like two lives, the life in my dreams and the life that I have with you guys. The majority of the things that I draw, the codes that came through, came from things that I see in my dreams. Sometimes even see guys giving me instructions about how they want to look in the drawing. For example, I think it was a month ago, I was doing like a blue Arcturian bean, and then I thought that the drawing was already done, and then I dreamed that I was in my kitchen, and then the alien was saying to me, no, you did not do it the way I wanted, look how I glow. And then it was moving, and then it had glow in their clothing, in their skin, and then the glowing started blinking and tingling, so I could perceive what they wanted to express. Sometimes even before people ask for their drawings, I already have the connection with the guide, and then whenever I have the session or we text about what they want, I remember, oh, that was a lion, that was the fairy, the angel, or anything that I previously downloaded. Yes, lately the codes that I am doing for my personalized code are images from the Akash. Like the one that I posted today, it was from an Arcturian priest, and then I did another for the temples of Aurora and in Atlantis and Elemoria. So this is the good part, the fun part. But then sometimes we do have nightmares, things that we don't want to see, things that we don't understand, things that we don't want to experience. Sometimes we feel like we have been attacked, or yes, that we may be hurt, that we may feel fear. Sometimes we remember things from previous lives, like when we have been assassinated, for example, or things that are not pleasant for you to go through. And it feels very real, because in a dream, it is for me traveling to another time and another space. It doesn't mean it does not mean that the way we remember is how things actually happen. This is when we have those surreal dreams, when you are like flying on top of a pizza, and then you see a unicorn, and then like alien, and then it was ocean, and then things sometimes doesn't make sense. Why doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense because our linear mind represents in images whatever it can came up with. Yes, like for example, I had a dream from an Arcturian family that it's my Arcturian family, and then in my dream I saw that I pick up the phone, and then I said, "Oh, Arcturians," right? And then I saw the picture, and then I saw the codes, the message, and then I don't remember, right? So it's not that I have a line so I can connect with them. It's not about that. It's the way that my mind represented that we telepathically connected within a dream. Yes? Another question that I'm frequently asked, and if you have questions, please type them in. Why we can remember? Sometimes we have dreams that we are inside of a ship or inside of, I don't know, a planet or with the angels, and then it's just like when I started dreaming with angels, I knew I had a dream with, let's say, Archangel Michael, but I could not remember how he looked like to me, right? Or sometimes angels look like to me like the ancient Rome statues, kind of like my Michelangelo thing, and it is the way that I represent it. Like for example, me and then a statue of Archangel Raphael. Because I don't have actually the physical image of him. Actually, I do of him, but some others I don't. Sometimes angels look to me like militaries, actually, or like police officers, or like men in black. And angels, I think they no, aliens. I think they look like in the way that we can resonate with them. So they will humanize themselves a little bit so we don't freak out. We freak out because sometimes, I'm gonna share a little bit. Okay, this is my guides. Look, I have had 3 dreams with my alien self from the future, and they do like psychic surgery on me. But the first time, first of all, I could not move. I felt like if I was paralyzed, but it was because their energy was so high that my body was struggling to handle. And I'm gonna explain why. Some people said it's sleep paralysis, right? This sleep paralysis, why this happen? It happens because my chakras that are like wheels of energy spin at certain frequency. Let's say that I am 5 miles per hour, but their chakras that are like gears spin like 200 miles per hour. So if they don't slow down and I don't go high, their chakras, it will feel like crashing my chakras. So I may feel like attacked. A lot of light feel like an attack because that energy is that strong that you feel like powerless. I hope that makes sense, right? And it's not a bad thing, it's just that it's not in balance. If you guys find out that you have a type of, thank you so much for the stars, Julie, a type of paralysis that you feel like attacked, scared, something you don't understand, tune into your center and ask, okay, what's going on? Who is with me? Show yourself so you know if it's a master, an entity, your guide, source, or whatever. Remember, in the Bible, they used to say that whoever look at God directly, it will die. And not because God will kill them, but because the light, it was so powerful that your body cannot resist. It is like, I mean, we love the sun, but if I go to the sun, I'll burn, right? So a lot of light or very little light feels like sort of like an attack. But attack, it doesn't exist in my language because it's just a situation that it's out of balance. I hope that makes sense. if you have a dream that feels sort of a nightmare, I had 2 days ago a dream that lasted like, oh my god, it was like a, I don't know, like an Avengers movie, like 2 hours and a half. And I wake up and I said, oh, I don't want to be here. Please, I want to go. And then I was imagining angels and fairies and things. And as soon as I lose my consciousness, I was again into that apocalyptic version of Earth that it was like 1999. But in that version of Earth, we had some type of aliens, like Alien versus the Predator, and then another aliens that were kind of like vampires, and then we were fighting, and then with the aliens, and then we were running away, and then we were trying to survive, and then lots of things were happening. So I was like, okay, if I ask my higher self to be in charge before I went to sleep, and I'm still having this nightmare, and I'm still, my energy or my soul is insistent for me to go through, even though it may be scary or it may be as thing pleasant to go through, because it was like being inside of a terror movie. I mean, for an empath, it's not a good thing, right? So I figured out that sometimes, first of all, we don't have all answers. Things sometimes just happen because they are meant to be. That was my first realization. I hope that makes sense. There are things that are out of our it's not range of understanding, that no matter how much we try to scrutinize our mind, trying to find the whys, we can. So the best way is just to let go, and then this was the first step that I did. Okay, I'm gonna let go to see why I am with these monsters. And then I said, yes, but I'm not being hurt. No one hurt me. No one did anything to me. I was just observing that apocalyptic dream, right? And then I said, maybe it is because I'm learning something that I haven't figured out. So if something happened to you unexpected that is not pleasant, it could be in a dream state, it could be in your work, with your family, it could be while driving, and then someone roll out the window and then start saying mean words to you or anything. Yes. Look, probably to my experience, Debbie, you are going to relate, because I was the same thing. Why I am here? And first of all, it was like no answer that I could understand. They just wanted me to go through it, right? So first of all, surrender to the experience, because sometimes the mind is not capable to make sense, but the heart will. And then I center myself within all these monsters that were around me, and then we were ramping around, and then I had some kids with me that they were going to be the future of humanity. And then I said, okay, hold on. And I kind of like paused my dream, and I said, okay, first of all, I know that I'm dreaming. I know that it's not real, it's an illusion. I know that I must go through this for something that it doesn't make sense, right? And then, fourth of all, I don't know if that is a word, nothing is happening to me. I was not hurt, I had not blood, I could change. In dream state or in astral travel, you could be anything you want to. You could shoot beams of light, you could kill, you could be super powerful, you can fly, you can do anything. But we have to realize it's just an illusion. And the same thing happened with real life. So the fifth realization I got, it is that dreams is sort of a practice for something. Maybe we are practicing to communicate with our guides. Maybe we are practicing to astral travel. Maybe we are practicing to protect ourselves. Maybe we are practicing to make peace with our ex or your family. Or maybe you lose, maybe I'm gonna put an example of myself. When my dog died, my baby dog died last year, for me it was as if I lose a son. I lost a son, right? But then I had dreams from 7 lives, seven, where I lost babies. So I manifested that in the physical, thank God with a dog and not with a son, so I could provide healing to other 7 aspects of me that were not strong as this version of me to go through grief and sorrow. Yes? So dreams sometimes are going to be that type of practice. So you realize that you are supported, that you can go through, that you are strong, that is just an illusion or in infinite things, right? So any experience that you catch up yourself with, whether they are in the physical or in dream state, surrender. The best way to understand it is to center yourself and then to notice how did you feel. Look. Oh, my crystal. Let me go to my phone to see if I can read your questions. Give me a minute. Another thing, why we don't remember dreams or everything that happened in a dream? We don't remember because maybe we were not meant to remember, only our soul. Secondly, because we need to match that frequency for us to understand whatever happened. Let's say that I traveled to Pleiades and then I remember seeing myself getting into the spaceships, and normally I'm going to see like a ring of lights that start spinning, and then I feel like elevating myself, and then I feel like I float. Like sometimes I even can hear like if my soul go out of body, and then I feel like going up, 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 and then I don't remember, right? I don't remember because this version of me doesn't have the 7 dimensional frequency to access whatever happened. Or maybe I don't need to remember everything. I just need to know that I'm connected. I hope that makes sense. So nightmares are a type of practice. At the end of my nightmare apocalyptic dream, my guidance was that I needed to learn something by going into the shadow. But instead of manifesting that in real life, I choose to leave it into a dream. So having a nightmare, actually, it was for the highest good. Because that fearful scene, it could happen in real life, but my soul choose that it was better if I experience it in dream state. Does that make sense? So sometimes people that had a lot of numbers, like I know someone who dreams a lot about war. He's always fighting, and he's the calmest person, patient I know in his human form. But in dreams, it's a little bit aggressive. So that aggression, instead of being channeled in human life, is channeled through dream states, so in the day it can be more peaceful. Does that make sense? At the end, know that whatever happened to you, whether that is a dream or an illusion, it is here to support you, and that all is well. I hope that makes sense. Well, Debbie asks that she's waking up, scream, and call you. This is maybe you are connected, but that scream, it is because it's something unknown to you and you feel afraid to let go. So let go of yourself, know that you are protected, and allow yourself to explore what it is that will happen if in your dream or in your astral experience if you actually don't scream and freak out. That it is, Christine, because you have to match the frequency of your dreams. It happens to all of us. Sometimes it will be overwhelming to remember all things we do, because I think we all have experience while we dream. And actually, not remembering give us a sense of rest and peace. Actually, who your guides are? Yes, Natalie. I'm seeing three right now with you. One feels like very earthy, very shamanic, like elemental vibe. And then one angelic, and you have one ancestors. Scary things, Debbie, are preparing you. It's sort of like a practice. So you learn that you are so powerful that that scary thing you see is just an illusion. Thank you so much for for the stars. I appreciate the support. Let me see. I saw my body in a dream, says Raisa, flying in space, and the boat said body activation. That's great because actually you could remember. Let me see if I have any other question. And if not, I'm going to do a little bit of light language. I have sometimes strange. I'm dreaming sometimes with houses. Okay, houses, Ellie, represents your energy field, your chakras, your meridians, everything. So if your house looks like um, dirty or weak or in repairs, that is a representation of your energy field. And rivers, oceans represents emotions too, and it can represent subconscious. That's a good one. I had a dream last week that says Victoria. I was with some guys. I wanted to go and meet a friend. The guys put some pills in my mouth, held up before, so take it. Okay, look, those guys you dream with, Victoria, are your guys, and that sort of pill you remember they gave to you, it was like an energy upgrade, but it feels like you struggle because you associate it with something physical and you got scared. Those guides are not actually your mm, guys that are always with you, more like soulmates from another time that were trying to upgrade you. So just interpret it. I don't know how to pronounce that. Just have the realization that you are connecting with other aspects of you for support, but there is nothing to be afraid of. Let me see. I dream scary things. Scary things. There is no other question. To remember how you can remember your dreams. You can remember your dreams is before waking up and grounding here. You journal whatever you remember, or you rewind and go back. Can you please tell me if I was a genuine being? Yes, it was a genuine being. For me, I remember because you do have Arcturian guys, but they're not always with you, Raisa. They come when it is required to assist you for something. And Stephanie says, I dream it's day for me because I come back and dream I took a pill too. I was scared and freaking out. Look, that's why I don't think we have disclosure with Galactics yet. Because I think when they have tested us, we freak out. We freak out because of many reasons. And whenever we learn to surrender, we're gonna be able to have that disclosure. I think in a period of no more than 20 years, we'll have that sense that we all know that they exist. Because if you notice, all movies lately and series are about parallel universes and different versions of you. So these kids and now teenagers and probably everyone is used to know that you have different versions of yourself. But it's a little bit overwhelming to sense and to feel other versions of you. because at least for me, I'm practicing and every day is more understandable. But you sort of get confused because you access, like for example, in one life I was in a institute of mad people, and then when you saw that happened to you in another life, for example, you wake up with a sensation of injustice or betrayal, so maybe affect you in this present life. I think that's why we block all those access to what is happening into all the other versions of us. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Normally we like to know what's happening to the awesome aspect of us, the ones who are ascended, the ones who are angels or mermaids, but we don't want to remember the ones that are suffering. So whenever we are able to embrace and know that we have shadow and light and they both are us, we're going to be able to ascend, I think. Serpents, I dream with serpents often, and serpents are normally associated with Kundalini activation. At least when I dream of it, it's that. Dragons too. Dragons are associated with Kundalini activation, with protection. It depends. It depends because we are all different. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of light language activation. Anyone that you would like me to channel, or just go with the flow. I'm gonna do just 10 minutes. Spiders, it's actually not just scary, Natalie. Your energy when expand, it will look like an spider. Like for example, if I send healing to all of you, one beam of light is going to split in many, and then you're gonna travel, and then it looks like a web. It just means that your energy is expanding. Okay? So close your eyes a little bit. And I'm going to ask for whoever is meant to be here in the highest, in the best way, to be healing or answers, guidance, clearing, anything that we need the most right now. And I'm going to ask you to please breathe into your heart to invite the light in. Tama aski tiki ashtara akise tiki eshka. We do have dragons. But these dragons are baby dragons. Tama ashki kiri ise teka ashka ti iki ena. They have all rainbow colors. Tama edite eshka tiri ise teke eshka. They have beautiful wings full of feathers. Tama ade eke eshka. They jump. They celebrate the connection with all of us today. Time eshka tiri ise teke eshka te eke eke ena. Because they are omnipresent and omniscient. Ta'ashki tiri ise teke eshka. They will simultaneously multiply and be with each of us, creating a circle, holding hands with our guides, our higher self, our soul, our spirit. Timi eshka tiri ise teke eshka. I isete eke eshka. Streaming love, light. They say that we need to grow more. Ma'ake ise eke eshka ti ise teke eshka. To breathe more. Ti ite iki ise teke eshka. And to let go. Ta'asete eke eshka. We're going to activate our pillar of light. Ti imaasi ite eke eshka. Ti isa I ama ne ete aka ate eke eshka. With the dragons of the north, the dragons of the south, the dragons of the east, the dragons of the west. Now we receive the elders, fathers, and this newly born dragon, Sama Ashki Tiri Isi Tiki Ashta, Iki Niki Ata Kara Oto Osokote Eki Eshka. They explain that they are keepers of the dreams, keepers of the portals, guardians of earth, protectors of humans, Gaia, and all that it is. So if anyone feels that needs protection or light for their dreams, you can connect with the Dragon Collective. Tima Ashka Tiri Iseteke Eshte Iki Esete Eke Eshka. They ask us to connect more with the space where we are. Ti Ishka Tiri Iseteke Eshka, to connect more with the light, the water, the space, the soil, with the trees, with our own human self. Mite Eshka Ti Esete Eke Ashta, Ni and Mate Eki Iki Ena. As you breathe, see your light being connected with the light, with all that it is, and all that has been created, that will be created, and allow your light to ground so you can anchor heaven into earth throughout the chakras of Gaia, through ley lines, her sentient being. Miti Ishka Tire Eseteke Ishka. As you breathe, allow yourself to become very strong in your roots, in your energy field, so all that it is can flow through you. Ti Ishka Tiri Iseteke Ashka. And as you breathe, shift into the light. Mate Isete Eke Eshka. Now the baby dragons are going to whisper love in their language. Mina Teki Iska Ti Iki Ishka Ti Ne Mina Te Eke Esete Eke Eshka. Feel the love, feel the expansion. You can set your intentions. Mi Teki Eshta Ti Isete Eke Eshta Ti Iki Ena. As you breathe again, ground to the crystalline grid of your earth and the crystalline grid of Gaia, and then let the dragons to take your light all the way up into the time grid of source, and then all the way down to the central sun, our sun. Enter into your crown, bathing each of your chakras as you become one to your breath. Ground your light one more time. And focus your attention on your feet. Mateke Eshtara Aseteke Eshka. Feel your roots. Mate Eki Eshtara Aseteke Ishka. Feel the light. Feel the ease. Now integrate, because this transmission is already done. So it is, so it is, and so it is. Please breathe one more time. And allow yourself to come back, being very present, very aware of the space, where you are, and all that is around you. I hope that this video was helpful. Thank you so much for being here, and the ones that follow me on YouTube, I appreciate your support too. For the ones that ask me about the Lion's Gate, we're going to, the ones that already subscribed, are gonna start the 8th of August, the Lion's Gate. You're gonna receive the material. If you have any other questions about that, please feel free to PM me. And regarding your dreams, trust that whatever you need to know is going to come to you one way or another. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to smile. Bye bye. See you next week.